Welcome to the 3 Knockdown Rule. Starring Mario Lopez and Steve Kim. Presented by Hustler Casino.
Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to our show on YouTube. It's fun. It's funny. I break this guy's balls. His wig looks crazy every week, but it's still worth doing it. Check out these badass shirts we got right now. Check it out.
Even though Mario's on it, you'll still learn something, and it's still some insightful analysis. And then I bring the funny, and I don't know what he brings.
No.
What are you talking about? I'm the star of the show here.
You bring the grumpy.
Oh, but the grumpy. Anyway, like and subscribe.
Yes,
3
please.
Knockdown
We
Rule.
appreciate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 3 Knockdown Rule is back in effect, brought to you by Hustler Casino. I'm Steve Kim, and I'm joined by Mario Gotham City Lopez.
That's right. We're going to be heading back east, man. Your boy hasn't stopped right here. But on the ones and twos, on the tortillas right there, smoking Tim Frazier.
And we've got a jam-packed show, the bout sheet. Work boots in Philly. Our 5 future stars, Ask Mario, and Final Flurries.
And listen, guys, stop working so hard to lose weight. There's a smarter way, actually. GLP-1 has changed millions of lives, and LifeRx makes it affordable at just $250 a month. Flat! Delivered right to your door, too. Around-the-clock, top-notch customer support. You could lose up to 20% of your body weight without crazy diets or living at the gym. How great does that sound? Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Take a smart approach with LifeRx.
And this podcast is also brought to you by Hustler Casino. Starting September 1st, all Cal game jackpots are doubling in size every Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday all day long. Love Baccarat, 3-card poker, blackjack, and other Cal games. Hey, now's the perfect time to play and win double the jackpot. Stop by, get in the game, and see how big you can win at Hustler Casino, or find out more at hustlercasino.com.
Round 1.
All right, we begin Saturday night from Philadelphia, PA, the Wells Fargo Center on the Zone. Junior middleweight matchup. Jaron Boots Ennis takes on Uizma Lima time. So, Mario, we've been very big fans and advocates of Jaron Ennis. But you take a look at his last few fights dating back to the end of 2024. There was David Avanesian. There was the rematch with Karen Chavakian. And then in his most recent outing, a unification bout at 147 against Imanto Stanionis. Then he decides that, hey, my time at 147 is up, and I'm going to move up to 54, but with a tune-up. As we go on social media, there seems to be a tide that's turning against him. Is it fair?
Well, I think frustration is fair. And when you see a guy as talented as Boots, you want to see him in action. You want to see him often, and you want to see him be active, and he hasn't done that. It's funny because I think he got more hype from sparring with Canelo than he did at any of his fights. And that's not necessarily a great sign, because it just goes to show that those inside the sport and that really know what they're talking about know that he can be great, and there is potential there for him to make a lot of noise. But for some reason, we haven't just seen that happen. I like the move to 154. I felt like he was busting out at the seams. I don't like the word tune-up that you just used. I always feel like you underestimate your opponent, and I don't like it, discredits the other guy. Where's the respect, Kimster? But I think he wants to dip his toe in that weight class before jumping in with the big guys there, and there's a lot of fun fights to be made there. Fundura, Virgil Ortiz. There's some really good, potentially tough fights. Murtazalayev to be made. So I like him. I think he could be right in the mix, and we'll see how he does in this fight. So I'm excited that he's finally getting in there. Hopefully we'll see him be more active.
And Mario, you're right. When I use the word tune-up, I think I am a little bit harsh because Lima's 14-1, 10 knockouts, but this is what's listed on the rankings. He's number 8 in the WBA, number 10 in the WBC, number 9 in the IBF. So he's not fighting a can. This is a solid pro, exactly. And I've seen some footage. He reminds me of a bigger, stronger version of Juan Urango. Big, burly southpaw, power in both hands.
Keeps his guard high?
He kind of does.
That guy keeps his guard high.
He's not what I would call a slick southpaw. He's there to be found. And one thing about Ennis, we don't know about this chin at the new weight class. We're going to see if his power carries up. Now, taking a look at the ratings. Now, the rankings are the rankings. Here's what I find interesting about Boots. He's number 1 in the WBC. The WBC is very jam-packed there. Their regular champion is Sebastian Fundora. The interim champion is Virgil Ortiz, and Jaron Ennis is number 1. Well, I have a question for Mauricio Suleiman. If Fundora and Ortiz are fighting within 2-3 weeks of each other, I have a question. Has the interim champion become permanent? At what point are you going to say, hey, Virgil, Sebastian, you win your next fights. You have to fight one another. And at that point, if Boots gets past Lima, when does he get into the mix for that green belt? Also, he's number 6 in the IBF for Bakram Mortalazaez, number 2 in the WBO. That belt is held by Xander Zayas for the time being, and number 1 in the WBA with the unknown Abbas Baru. Again, I don't know about this, but I know one thing about Boots. He's crowd-pleasing, he's entertaining, he's multidimensional, but if he keeps doing another Lima, no disrespect to him, I'm going to be honest about it. It's going to be hard for me not to be critical. There are champions out there to be fought at 154.
A lot of fun fights to be made, and he's right in the mix with all of them. I think we're actually going to see a stronger fighter. I think he was squeezing himself down. We're going to see a strong fighter. I think his skill set will carry over. The speed will still be there, and he'll maintain. How long is Zayas going to be?
One or two fights, I think.
Yeah, 1 or 2 fights, and he's going to have to fight somebody. Is Boots that guy? Are they going to want to? If I'm Zayas's camp, I would rather face Ortiz. I think it'd be more financially rewarding if I'm going to take those sort of risks. So I think after this fight, he needs to step up to one of the 3 champions, and those fights should be made.
And taking a look at the business, which gets in the way of the sport, Xander Zayas is with Top Rank. As we are speaking right now in the first week of October, Top Rank has not announced a television deal. Zayas is one of the pillars of their company. Well, they're not going to farm him out like they would an 8-round fighter. I believe that his first title defense will come on whatever new network platform Top Rank gets on. And here's another thing. They can fight basically you and me in Puerto Rico and probably draw 10,000 people. So they're looking at Boots as like, now you do your business at Matchroom and The Zone. So again, we are talking about rival platforms, promotional rivalries. But there has to come a point. Look, we've talked about Jaron Ennis being one of the bright young fighters in the world for about, 5 years? You know he's 28 now? Time waits for no man.
Wow. Yes. It's surprising that...
time flies.
Time flies, man. We were just talking about it. I know we're going to get into it a little bit more later, but it does fly, and his time is now. So hopefully after this fight... Of course, if things all go well for him and he's victorious, he'll jump right in the mix with one of those champions.
All right, well, that's it for round 1 of the next round. So, again, this Saturday night from Philadelphia, PA on The Zone, Jaron Boots Ennis takes on Uizma Lima. We'll be back with more of the 3 Knockdown Rule.
Catch it streaming live right on YouTube.
Welcome to the big leagues, kid.
$1.2 million.
And I'm losing in this fucking game. What the fuck?
There's a 400K flip. If I win by way, you get 10 grand.
Fucking straddle!
For my fans.
What? I read it twice!
Wow. All in a call.
I'm not fucking leaving!
Raise it up.
Review preview.
And we're back on the 3 Knockdown Rule, brought to you by Hustler Casino. All right, moving on. News and notes. Mario, the boxing calendar is starting to get filled in a little bit.
About time.
Yeah, so December 6th in San Antonio, Texas, a PBC pay-per-view on Amazon. Lamont Roach finally has a fight, so we talked about it a few weeks ago. It is now being reported he will be taking on Pitbull Cruz in a junior welterweight battle. But this is the fight I find equally as interesting. Janibek finally has a fight.
Yes.
He's going to go into another unification against Erez Lande Lar. That means he has a chance to win 3 belts.
Wow. I'm surprised because there was talk about Adames.
Yeah.
And the fact that they went with Lara, interesting. But look, I think Janibek is the best middleweight in the world. I think once he clears out the division, maybe that'll be enticing for Crawford to entertain, and that's the fight that I would really
3
like
belts.
to see. Exactly.
Those belts matter.
Yeah, they do.
They are a bag, and the more bags that you add onto that wheelbarrow, it's enticing. Let's be honest. When Canelo finally wanted to fight Gennady Golovkin, part of the allure, that guy had 3 belts. So when people say belts don't matter, I completely disagree.
Totally matter.
Mario, who do you think has the advantage at 140? Roach or Pitbull? Because Pitbull's actually fought at junior welterweight. Or do you still think Lamont's actually the bigger guy?
Lamont, look, I know it was just his first foray into junior welter, but he looked good. He
Well, that was at 35, remember?
Pardon me. I know that was his first fight
Yes,
at
it was,
35, and he looked good and he looked strong. So now going to 140, you'd have to kind of give it to Cruz only because of the experience, and he's been there a little bit more. But if he continues to carry that weight, Lamont, the way he did surprised us last time, but just with Cruz having the experience, you'd have to maybe lean towards him. But I don't want to underestimate Roach. He really looked impressive to me his last time out.
I like this fight because one thing that Lamont showed is that he could be in the pocket, be slick,
and he knows what he's getting.
Great counter punching.
Exactly.
You don't need a GPS to find Pitbull Cruz. Nope. And I still get the sense that Lamont is an ascending fighter who's gained confidence after that Tank Davis fight. Good fight for Lamont Roach. And I'm just glad he got something. I mean, my God, he got strung out the whole summer.
That should be a fun fight.
Davis.
That card should be good.
Should be a fun card, absolutely. And Mario, Manny Pacquiao. It's going to happen. It doesn't matter what we think. They didn't ask us, but it looks like it's being reported that Manny Pacquiao in January is going to fight, as Oscar De La Hoya would call him, Rollies Romero. Rollies.
Bro, Romero's gotten himself some pretty good little paydays for a guy that we counted out.
He's making a good living.
He's making a good living, and he's become so likable. Post the Garcia fight with his quotes and the way he is. And I'm a bigger fan knowing or finding out that he was a judo guy.
Yeah.
And he's competed in judo. So, hey, look, I mean, good for Romero. Again, I just don't want to see Pacquiao.
He'll be about 48 now.
Oh, dude, my guy's almost getting... Exactly. He's almost going to be 50. I do not want to see him get hurt. I love him. I put him in my Mount Rushmore for favorite fighters to watch just because of his style of fighting, especially during our generation. But Romero's got pop, bro, and he hits hard. And I just don't want Manny going in there. Oh, God. I mean, can he pull it off? Did you feel he won his last fight?
I thought it was a draw, but you said gun to head, you got to pick one guy. I thought Manny won the fight. I do. Even though it's 6'6", I got the sense, he did a little bit more. Yeah. But here's the issue. I've talked to a few boxing insiders, guys that I think know more than me. They hate this fight for Manny. Because like you said, Rolly has rocks in those gloves.
He does.
He may not have any technique. Fundamentals are a little bit flawed. He can bang, though.
Yeah.
Think about that. I mean, when he jumped Ryan Garcia on the canvas with that left hook, all he did was... And he's got Ismael Salas, so his technique was a little bit better. But you could see Ryan Garcia after that left hook. He wasn't exactly, charging ahead into the fire.
Right.
And look, I actually thought that given the nature of the Barrios fight, that okay, we didn't like him fighting, but you know what? He fought well enough. He didn't embarrass himself. That's it. Now you're doing this again.
I guess a draw is a win, really.
For him.
A draw is a win, and your career keeps going, and it's almost like it didn't happen. So, okay, let's try it again. Now, if things were to end bad on this one, I have to imagine that you'd have to call it a day. But if he looks competitive again, who knows? Or God forbid he pulls it off. Oh my God!
You know what? I think
we don't have a date set yet, right?
No, it's going to be sometime in January. Here's my prediction. Regardless of what happens in mid-November, should Manny win the fight or at least look respectable, you know who the PBC is going to line him up against? Tank Davis.
Oh.
Now, that's a little bit... Now, again, you don't like that 50-pound weight difference, but Tank and Manny, they're kind of the same size. That would sell.
It would.
But again, that's a dangerous, lethal young guy.
That's even more dangerous, especially... What is there like a 20-year age difference? It's off. I mean, you know what I mean. I'm just worried about.
And again, unlike a Bernard Hopkins who fought into his early 50s, Bernard was a guy that could kind of nullify you, slow down the pace.
The bigger you are, it's easier to kind of carry the age.
And Manny's always been kind of a kamikaze with a lot of activity and a little bit more of a hit and be hit guy. Oh, that's not a style that really ages well as compared to a Mayweather or a Bernard Hopkins. That's the fear. And again, Rolly Romero, heavy hands. And that's the thing. To our next subject, Manny Pacquiao is now into his late 40s. Canelo Alvarez is now inching into his late 30s. Terrence Crawford now, I think, is just turned 38. Usyk is much closer to the end than the beginning. Inoue is probably still in his primes. And I wrote an article about a month ago for Snack.com on K9's Corner where I talked about who are the future stars of the sport, who are going to be the pillars, specifically in North America, that are going to kind of carry the mantle and be the foundational pieces of the business. Mario, who are some of the names you look at?
I've been talking about this in our last couple of shows, and when we're talking to Tim, not who are great fighters.
Or who's better than who.
Who's better than who. Who are the stars?
Right.
Who's box office? And that's important because that's the health of the sport, whether you like it or not.
It matters.
It absolutely matters, and we need to we need to figure that out who that is. The sad thing is it's not like an obvious glaring thing. At one point, and I don't know if it's too late, and he may still be able to be, but Ryan Garcia.
Oh my God, you're still on this.
No, hold on a second. I said at one point, right? At one point he did. At one point, coming off of the Campbell fight and whatever, the kid had all the intangibles. He had the looks. He had the people behind him. It looks like he had the goods with the left hook, especially coming off of the Devin Haney fight, right? Wouldn't you say he was poised to be the next big star?
Yes.
Okay. Well, has that ship sailed? Was the Romero fight just an anomaly? Can he right the ship? If he can, I still feel because there is such a lack of star power, not
that
great
he's
fighters.
needed. He's needed.
Not great fighters, but star power that he is needed. We'll see. And I root for him only because it's better for the sport. It's good for the sport if we have stars. Look, he's wild and he's crazy, but could he pull it together? What remains to be seen. So we'll see. That's one. Someone who I've been high on from the get, but we don't know what kind of fighter we're getting. But he seems to rise to the occasion every time there's a big fight and he comes through. Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez has the potential to be, that he has that star quality. The kid can really fight. He's exciting. He's got a presence about him. Like I said, he really seems to shine when the lights are the brightest. We'll see when it comes.
If he beats Shakur, he's back at the doorstep.
Yes, right there. So that's another guy. Number 3, I think it's just a matter of the matchups. And he's right there, David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a guy who, if he were to face a B-ball and or Beterbiev and somehow come out victorious, I think he's right there. You can start circling those Cinco de Mayo, September dates around him. He's right there. Those 3 off the top of my head, okay? After that, I really got to I struggle because Tank, he's already got one foot out the door. Yeah. So I don't really want to put too much weight in him. He's talking about retirement. Once you're talking about it,
you're kind of retired.
Shakur, good-looking kid, incredibly talented. His style, though, is not as aesthetically pleasing as the 3 I just mentioned.
But what if he schools Teofimo and he's entertaining in doing it, though?
Then I was just about to say, if he does that, then I think that changes things. That and a lot more activity where we get to see him, then I think so. He does have that potential, that star potential. That's my Mount Rushmore of 4. Oh, I really struggle for 5.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. No, my 5th one.
Paul,
my 5th one.
Here with that.
If he's able to keep it going and he doesn't have to face Usyk, Moses Utama.
Okay, that's not North American, but I'll give you that.
Oh, did you say North American?
But he's a heavyweight.
Did you say North American?
Yeah, but he's.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, but you know what? He's a heavyweight.
4 North American, 1 outsider.
One outsider. Okay, the 4th American, 1 outsider. Yeah, exactly.
I'm surprised.
Don't you think he has a potential?
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. And he's a heavyweight, so that kind of transcends a lot of things.
So there we go.
Couple things. When it comes to Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez, that is your version of what I used to hear 20 years ago or 25 years ago. Oh, if Mike Tyson would just get back with Kevin Rooney. And I'm like, folks, it's over. He ain't getting back with Kevin Rooney.
Is it over for Ryan? You think it's over?
I don't have any faith.
Yeah,
I don't have any faith.
We don't have a fight. He doesn't have a fight lined up, huh?
No, not right now. And you talk to Golden Boy, they want to have some assurances like, Ryan, are you ready to fight? Because remember what he said about the last fight. Well, I wasn't really into it. Really?
How come you had a year off? How are you not into it? You had a year off.
Right. I'm going to call you Job. Because you're a lot patient than I am.
Well, I'm not saying who you. We said who is not better. We're talking about star power.
Here's what I listed on my article about a month ago, and I'm surprised you didn't put him up there. And again, he's not at that level yet, but I think he is marketable. He's out of central casting, and he's got the lineage. You know who I'm talking about. Think of his father.
Wait, I got a brain fart right now. Who?
Emiliano Vargas.
Oh my God! I can't believe I missed him. No, that's my 100%.
What type of Mexican are you?
Can I tell you something? No, you're
Órale.
exactly right. You know why? Because these guys are right on the cusp,
and he's
they're
still
right
a
there. He's still prospect, but
yeah.
no, but that's why he didn't come to mind right away. But you're absolutely right. The kid's got
it.
Let me change it. He would be a number one. He looks like to be what we thought Ryan Garcia was going to be right now.
And he's only 21.
The lineage, good-looking kid, can fight, seems disciplined. He's focused,
well-spoken,
articulate, bilingual. All his checks off all the boxes.
Checks off everything.
Checks off every back. Yes. As a matter of fact, he's my George Washington. I'm putting him number one. It's just because, you know what I mean? The other guys are already right there, or had champions, or have been champions. So that's it. But you're right. As far as Emiliano, and then we'll see if your boy Ryan gets it together. If not, Tio, Shakur Benavidez, or Atoma. I like my list.
Yeah, and by the way, Benavidez, I have on the list. Now,
Benavidez,
keep this in mind, he's 28. Got to get going here. He's not necessarily old, but he's not necessarily young anymore either.
But he's right there, too. I think if he were to beat those guys, he gets those dates. Don't you think? If he were to beat like a Bivol or whatever, he gets those Cinco de Mayo and September dates.
And he drew pretty well against Morel.
That's what I'm saying.
Back in late January.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, Emiliano's great, but I don't think he's filling out. He's not filling it. He's not filling out yet. You told me next.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying next. What I'm saying there. But
And here's a guy that I love, and I think he's already has a full resume, headed to the Hall of Fame, but what's going to hold him back is his size, being an American fighter. Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah, I thought about him too, and but unfortunately, they get sort of penalized because of the size. But he's right there with the all-time greats like Carbajal,
Too Sharp Johnson, Chiquita. Yeah,
exactly.
Also, a guy that I love, and I think he's going to be a draw in Cleveland, Ohio. Very, very highly skilled, explosive, and fast, and a kid that I've liked from day number one. Abdullah Mason. Now, I was going to put in Keyshawn. Didn't like what happened with Keyshawn back in Virginia. Not making weight, then him and his brothers assault that guy, Nahir Albright, after the fight. I think I have to ding him for that. Keyshawn's got all the talent in the world. I need to see some steadiness in terms of his personality and his behavior. Abdullah Mason, I think, has a lot of tools. I'm very excited about his future. And then this is my version of your Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez. Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis. They better fight next year. And the winner of that, I think, has an inside track to be a star. There's no excuse. They fight literally within a month of each other. They're both at 54. They both fight on the same network, The Zone. I don't want to hear any excuses from Golden Boy or Matchroom. And keep this in mind. Virgil Ortiz is 27. Jaron Ennis is 28. The future is now.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Ask Mario. Here's one from Harbaugh-isms. Since boxing is a clown show, Mario, convince Steve to box Henry Garcia.
Yes. That'd be amazing. You should get on that.
No,
kid.
I'm ducking him. He's too tough.
Is
I don't want. No, I'm ducking. I'm flat out ducking
What
him.
about the mom?
Oh no, I'm really afraid of her. I'm going to say it right now. I am ducking both of them. Like
Wait,
the
what?
plague.
But you guys are all cool now. What happened?
No, we're really not.
Wait, what happened?
No, nothing happened. They just still hate me. I don't really like them. But I am afraid of Henry. I don't want any part of hammering Henry Garcia. I don't want any. No.
Wow.
Well,
remember, he called him a piece of shit, and he said maybe Mario Lopez.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I'm not. The mom's always very sweet with me. I don't want to. Don't be guilty by association
well,
just because I know Kim.
Yeah, but
just because I know this guy. See, you're dragging me down with you.
Yeah, well,
you're dragging me down with you,
You could work
Kim.
the corner. You'd be my Bundini Brown. All right, here's one from Hamed Boxing. Every time Canelo loses a fight, there's always an excuse from his loyal followers. If we take Canelo's record, at face value, out of Crawford, Mayweather, and Bivol, who deserves the most credit or beat the best version of Canelo? That's an interesting question.
That's a really good question. Look, when he fought Mayweather, I thought he was a little too young to take on that task. Plus, he weight drained him, made him come down.
52.
Yeah, 50. That's a significant difference. He's already a big kid. So I don't think that was the best version. Bivol was how long ago?
2023 or 22, I believe. But that's when he may have been considered the number one fighter in the world, and he was the undisputed super middleweight champion.
Yes.
That may have been when he was at his highest peak value.
That's why, to answer who beat the best version, I think Bivol beat the best version of Canelo. I think that weight drop proved to be obviously a little bit too much, and then Bivol was just a great fighter. And I think he beat the best version, but I'm most impressed by Crawford's because of the weight jump and because of his time off, and he was still able to accomplish his goal with a convincing defeat. I'm most impressed by that, but I, like I said, two things can be true. I think he beat a weathered Canelo with a lot of tread on those tires. Bivol beat the best version of him, but I still think Crawford's was the most impressive. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And speaking, this dovetails into what we said from B. Drews. Boxers in the past were more active than today's boxers and were done earlier in their careers than today. With that being said, could Canelo have been in his prime at 42-0 when Floyd schooled him? I mean, 42 fights is still a lot, though.
It is a lot, but he was still...
Look, he was 23, by the way.
He was 23. He wasn't even in his man strength
Yeah.
yet. That's why I say that. When you get like 28 to like 32...
It's the wheelhouse.
Is the wheelhouse, right? That's when you're in your man strength with it. So he was still quite a few years away from that point.
And to Canelo's credit, I think that there was marked technical improvement that was noticeable after Floyd. I mean, I think Floyd taught him more than a few things during their time together in the ring. Here's one from David. Mario, on boxing's future star power. Last week, Tank Davis said he is retiring after the Jake Paul fight. So Usyk, Bud, AJ Fury, Canelo only have a couple of fights left. If we exclude them, who are boxing's 5 biggest stars? Well, Inoue would be one.
We just answered this
stars
question.
right now, though. Right now.
Right now. Who are we excluding?
Inoue. I would say Inoue.
No, but who are we excluding?
So Usyk, Bud, AJ Fury, Canelo.
No. Well, Inoue is easy. That's number one. Inoue, then Benavidez.
Yeah. Who? I'm just telling you.
Shakur Teofimo.
Tio. I don't know about Tio.
Who else?
Well, Tio's very talented. Is he a draw?
We're going to find out if he beats Shakur. He will be.
You're right about that. And you know what? I will say this. If we're going by box office appeal, Ryan Garcia probably has to be considered.
I told you that. You argued with me a
No, I'm talking about
who's the fan now?
Yeah, no, well, you're right about that. God, dog. Anyway.
We're talking box office appeal. It's the difference from ability.
Yes, but I think ability to be one of the faces of the game, you have to show consistency in your performance. That's where Ryan loses me. He's more up and down than the Dow Jones. My God. Here's one from Clay Stevenson. Hey, Mario, fantasy fight for you. Hector Camacho versus Lomachenko at 30 or 35. Who would you pick?
Lomachenko.
Wow. You know what? I'm going to divide this one up. Pre-Edwin Rosario, I might go with the Macho Man. Post-Rosario, I'd go all day with Loma.
Camacho is incredibly...
that hand speed. Oh
talented is with his hand speed, his foot speed, the combinations he put together. I just think Lomachenko was more disciplined with his skill set and could make the adjustments. And he's fast too, bro. Especially 130, 135. His hand speed and foot speed too. I think Lomachenko still gets it done.
Mario, I have never seen a fighter who was about as exciting as they came. And there used to be like CBS news stories on him. Out of his kid out of Harlem. He's going to take over for Ray Leonard. He was going to be the next star. I used to see him on CBS in his title fights. But when Edwin Rosario in the summer of 86 hit him with like 2 left hooks and just shook him, and he admitted after this fight, this macho stuff ain't no fun. I've never seen a guy do a 180, and that's where I came up with one of my terms, Rosario'd.
He still won that fight. He still won that fight.
He got the decision.
No, he still won that fight. But he still got one that Chavez is the one that really put the beating on him.
Well, that was a beating, but he was not the same guy. But that was in 92. That fight happened in 86. The one I'm talking.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But saying
that's where the term Rosario comes from. When a fighter gets hit for the first time, they're like, you know what? Yeah. I'm not going to be courageous as I once was.
Chavez was pretty courageous against Rosario too.
Oh, no. On that night, Chavez was a top 3 lightweight of all time. He could have competed with Duran, Henry Armstrong,
on that
Benny
night,
Leonard.
and he butchered him.
By the way, you know who carried in Rosario's spit bucket?
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, because he was part of the same group as Bill Caton.
Yeah.
That's how much of a boxing guy Mike Tyson was. Folks, are you looking to get involved with 3 Knockdown Rule and sponsor our show? We have some spots available. Please email info@boxbid.io. Once again, that's info@boxbid.io. Boxbid is an online platform that helps professional boxers connect with their fans by providing exclusive Fight Week merchandise, memorabilia, and sponsorships. You can even buy a shout-out on Boxbid. Boxbid.io handles our sponsorships, and we are proudly working with Boxbid.io.
Champions are not born. They're forged. Every challenge is an opportunity. Every setback, a lesson. But this is not just about winning. This is about turning the ordinary into the extraordinary and becoming undisputed. Available now.
Final Flurries.
Final flurries. Mario, you know what quarterback had an even worse weekend in Indianapolis than Geno Smith?
Mark Sanchez.
Oh, wow. Good, man.
Can I tell you something? That is the most bizarre and unpredictable story I've heard in a while. I happen to know Mark. Really nice guy. Always pretty chill, right? Down-to-earth guy. Right here from Orange County.
Orale.
Never really has gotten in any trouble.
No issues before.
No issues. That's what was so alarming about this news, is that there was no pattern of behavior like this leading up to it. Have you ever heard this from certain individuals that you know?
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Whatever. Just par for the course. This behavior came out of nowhere, and the stories keep getting wilder. He's doing sprints in an alleyway.
He's trying to do wind sprints at night.
At night, in the middle of the night,
in
he's
full
doing
clothing.
sprints, and this dude comes, a 69-year-old dude that's just delivering food. He asks him to leave, and he jumps him, or he goes to slam him.
Well, the original story was, hey, buddy, move your car. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, if a guy's delivering food, you don't care where he parks. They're gone in 2 minutes.
Of course.
And I thought that was kind of odd.
Right, and is he taking up the whole alleyway? You can go around it.
He was in a bigger truck because he was actually picking up grease, cooking grease.
Yeah.
Well, regardless,
but it doesn't matter.
Why
He's doing a job. Why are you doing wind sprints at night in this area where a truck is picking up grease?
Why are you doing wind sprints at night in the middle of Indianapolis in this random alley? Why are you picking on this poor 69-year-old guy? And evidently, he tried to hurt him, and then the guy maced him. He came back, and then with the stabbing, and they have the footage going on. I'm just so blown away because, again, I know Mark, and I'm like, this was so out of character.
He might have been on bath salts.
That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like he was on something in bath salts.
Because weren't they
It's
both
so
filming each
out
other?
of character. It is the wildest thing. And this is what I always tell my kids. And a perfect example, a guy who's never gotten in any trouble in his life took the Jets to 2 AFC championships, was known primarily because of the butt fumble.
Yeah.
Well, now he's known for something else. And that job at Fox, I think
it's gone.
It's gone. They can't.
Every other positive thing is erased.
It's the weirdest thing because one bad choice can affect and change the rest of your life. And I think that's what we saw here. And it kind of makes me sad.
It is sad. And I saw pictures of the guy that was kind of assaulted. Not a good look.
Bro, what did he fight with Wolverine?
I mean, he was all cut up and bruised
Kind
up.
of assaulted.
I mean,
he was like body slammed at one
What the
point.
heck? The dude's on like 70-year-old guy. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Do you know that
Mark's a big guy, too, by the way.
You know, Mark, during his time as the USC starting quarterback, actually worked as an assistant chef to Phil trainees.
Did he?
Yes, him and Jason Capono.
I'm sure Phil can tell you he was a nice kid.
He was a very nice kid.
He's a nice kid. I met his mom and all that. It's like, it was so weird, to hear this news coming from someone who's never been in any kind of trouble.
And those jobs pay well. When you're on that NFL beat and you're part of that rotation, it's probably a 7-figure salary. I mean, in the beginning, everyone thought maybe he went out to dinner and he got mugged, and that got
I know,
debunked.
that's exactly
so
what
the
you
story
thought.
changed 3-4
That's
times.
what's so
But the slow
bizarre.
drip of details has been the most bizarre part.
I can't wait till we hear the guy speak, or we hear Mark himself give his account. He says he has no recollection.
But that's not. Is that a defense?
It's not.
It's not.
Let's assume you got Mickey'd, all right?
Yeah.
Let's just assume for a second. I don't know you get Mickey and you start doing wind sprints.
Yeah.
It's the weird. I'm just sort of like blown away. I've never heard anything like this from a guy you would not expect it from.
Yeah.
Right?
It was a stunner.
It was a stunner just because who it came from and what happened in the chain events. It's now you're willing to throw everything away because
because that's a 25-year career. Given Mark's age, he could do that for 25 years, make a lot of money. And now you're thinking, oh boy, that your whole life just changed and not for the good.
Wow.
Mario, we are filming this on a Tuesday afternoon. We generally go on a Monday. Why are we doing it today and not yesterday?
Oh. So I was reluctant to mention this, but then I figured,
PSA. It's a
I'll
PSA.
figure I'll bring it up. It could be a good public service announcement. Men should know about this, or everyone should know about it for that matter. But it's a fact of life. Yesterday, I had my first colonoscopy.
Oh.
Okay, thank you.
right.
Oh, slow 80s clap.
Slow 80s clap. Yeah, good job. Good job.
Clean bill of health. I'd like you all to know. I was reluctant, man, and now they're starting to have people come in at 45 because there's been a sudden rise of cancer, colon cancer, in men as of late. So they want to check you. Obviously, you can prevent it. And once you go once and you get a clean bill, you don't have to go for another 10 years, right? So it's not a big deal. Let me tell you about it. The procedure itself, you don't feel anything. You're asleep. You're asleep.
Oh, okay.
You might want to stay awake. Could be a good time for you.
Oh, shut up.
But because there is options. So, who knows? For you, it could be a good time, Kim.
Some light anesthesia.
I prefer to go full out.
Yeah.
I was out, woke up, no pain. The day before, that is the tough stuff right there. Because you have to fast 24 hours.
What?
Okay, you have to fast. I'm not even worried about the fast. Bro, they give you this liquid you have to take that cleans you up.
Yeah.
I must have gotten up 7-8 times in the middle of the night from a dead sleep, having to rush to go to the bathroom to relieve myself because you have to be clean
And
as a
not the
whistle in
one,
there.
the two.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
To everything.
So your plumbing was clean.
Oh, bro, as a whistle.
It may, by the way,
That's why I was whistling earlier, by the way. Clean as a whistle. By the way, that's at night, but you start prior to that, so you're already going, but you're awake, you're going to the bathroom, all right, it's just more of a pain, you're going. But in the middle of the night, it wakes you up from dead sleeps, and you have, I guess you could lay there and let it go, wear a diaper, but you'd go, that's the only part that's a pain in the butt.
it may be a number 2. Well, there's another pain in the butt coming, but it may be a number 2, but it acts like a number 1, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
we're straight hot coffee. It's straight hot coffee. So it's not, a little too much detail. So I'm good for another 10 years, but guys should know about this. If you're reluctant, you should go. You haven't gone, huh?
No.
You got to go, bro.
Yeah, I do.
You're older than me,
Oh, shit,
significantly.
by a year.
You're significantly
By a year.
older than me.
By a year.
No, you're substantially older than me. And you need to go, and you look like you got your all like full of it.
Yeah.
Like you look like you need to get cleaned up. No, in all seriousness, you need to go.
How long did you spend at the hospital on Monday, though? The actual...
Well, you go in, you know, we got there about noon. By the time you fill out the paperwork, they take your blood, they get you an IV going, they ask you all the questions. Then you get sleepy time. You get the little propofol, right? Mm-hmm. That's the little milk that Michael Jackson used to take, the propofol. But it's monitored, and they ask you, would you like to be somewhat twilight awake? Would you like? I go, no. When my friend Steve Kim comes, he wants to be wide awake. You don't even need to use this.
Shut up.
But I said, no. I want to be like out. I don't want to be like. I want to be like. I want to feel like coming tomorrow. He goes, oh, okay. So they have you turn to your side. They start putting it in. They start talking. They say, no, boom. I wake up. Whole procedure's about a half hour. If that. And then you're just kind of groggy the rest of the day. And you start eating. I kicked back. Watched the Dodgers game, which was nice. Brought me back. And then I was good to go.
And you're good to go now. You feel fine.
I'm good to go now. I'm fine. So it is important. I think you should go. I was kind of I'm seriously.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it
as your friend.
year.
You should next year. You should get it right now.
Now,
why do you got to wait a next year?
It'll be my New Year's resolution. Just right
seriously
there.
though. Promise
Yeah,
me you'll get it.
I will.
Promise you'll get it and report back. I'm worried about you. What if you got some stuff up there?
Sure
seriously.
you are. Yeah, sure you are.
I've seen the way you blow it up.
You
and what
couldn't do the
eat.
show without
You
me,
need
so
to
you
do.
better hope I'm okay.
You better go check it out. Exactly.
Mario, we got into a little bit of an argument because I got our guy Glitter Road, Clay Stevenson. He got on my butt because I said, hey, look, Creed 3 is the worst movie of all time, and we saw it together.
Yeah,
and you're trying to blame me.
You dragged me to see it. I should have
What are you talking about?
You dragged me to
you're
see.
to blame for this.
You dragged me to see Creed 3 because you love Creed 2 so much.
Oh no!
And I said I'll go with you just because I'm your friend, but It was wild. It was wild.
Point of order, Steve Kim used to brag about that scene in Creed 2 where they'd go work out in the desert all the time.
Right. That was your
He
favorite
talked
with the
about
tire.
it all the time.
You like that in the tire? Remember that?
Okay, let me come clean here because I know you got more receipts than Rite Aid. The reality is, I did want to see Creed 3 for one reason.
See?
Work. Fearless, they said, Steve, can you watch it? Because you and Jason Whitlock should talk about it. So I watched it. Now, Creed 2 was your idea, and I remember...
They were both...
I'm going way back because it was on Thanksgiving
Creed
Saturday.
1 may have been my idea.
Yeah, no,
that was
Saturday. It was the Thanksgiving Saturday. We went to the sushi place near the movie theater, and I'll never forget, you were recovering from your Achilles. So we sit down and read the previews, and all of a sudden you're like, what's going on with you? Kim, call me. So I call, and the phone's ringing, and you're like, I go, what? He goes, Kim, where's my phone?
Oh, that's right. Left it at the sushi place.
And I go, I have no idea. He goes, Kim, call the sushi place. And I go, what's the name of it? So I call, hello? Yeah. I don't know if you know me. I'm the Asian guy with Mario Lopez. Yeah. Can you go to where we were sitting? Yeah. Do you see a phone there? Yeah. So I go, your phone, and you took off like Usain Bolt, even with your Achilles. You came back like 5 minutes. I was impressed. Like, man, you got some wheels. Creed 2 had like 4 scenes where me and you looked at each other, were like, ugh. Like it was uncanny how bad that movie was.
And then you wanted to see 3. I know, exactly.
Work assignment. This is the type of employee.
You know what was on the other day, and I'm finally
bad movie though.
Yeah, I'm glad it's finally it's in this universe, getting the love it deserves. Rocky 3. It's
always gotten love.
No, I put it as number 2, a solid number 2 after Rocky 1. You don't. I do.
Well, that's because you slander the second one.
My friend, Dana White puts Rocky 3 as his number 1. A lot of people put Rocky 3. He told me that President Trump puts Rocky 4 as, I guess maybe he likes it.
The whole Cold War thing.
Yeah, the whole Cold War thing. But I put Rocky 3 as my solid number 2 over Rocky 2.
Okay, so Rocky 3, the opening montage of Eye of the Tiger.
But the fact that he lost something, he knows what he had. He lost it. He has to try to find that motivation to get it again. And the montage and the way it was shot was beautiful.
Evander Holyfield said they did ESPN Sports Classics when that was still a network. They used to do At the Movies.
Yeah.
And they would talk about the sports movies. And Evander Holyfield said that Rocky 3 start is so true. Because as a fighter, I've been Clubber Lang, and I've also been Rocky Balboa. He goes, that thing is actually very true. And I love Clubber Lang with the statues. Hey, woman.
That's my favorite.
Hey, woman.
Come here, be a real man.
You don't need a statue. Give him guts. And I'm like, we need Clubber Lang in this game.
Mr. T was awesome in that role.
Unbelievable.
You should have never came back.
All right.
How would you rank the Creed movies?
All right, the first one was not bad.
The first one was not bad.
The second and third are worse and worse. They're among the
second
worst.
And third, when they had Drago come back with his kid, they should have.
Okay, but Jose Benavidez as a heavyweight when he's the
right,
lighter
brother. Right,
really,
you
didn't cringe at that. You know you cringed.
You're getting too inside baseball.
No, you're trying to be like the nice guy here. You're trying to be diplomatic.
I forgot about that.
Mario, have the Dodgers or the Doyers regained the mojo?
Bro. I'm
They're
so
rolling
impressed
now.
by they're rolling 2 games up in Philly, which might be the best team in baseball, and they're building them. We got to win out of 3. That's it.
Oh, boy.
And then we face either Milwaukee or Chicago. This is beautiful.
It looks like a World Series team again.
Dude, and all your cousins are killing it,
That's
dude.
what we do. Bonsai.
Sasaki, Yamamoto,
Bonsai.
Shohei.
Yeah, Toyota.
It's a different country, but
Honda, Mitsubishi.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Between him and Sun,
Yeah.
you know Sun, who is actually from your country, over at LAFC, the Asian invasion just in LA, I am all about it. Those guys are studs.
And Mario, way out loud. Orale.
Hey, you got to come to another show. We had an awesome sold-out show.
Why are they on Wednesdays?
Because it's Way Out Wednesdays. We want to go with nights when people don't have something. In the middle of the week, you want something to do. We're going to be consistent with it. We're going to scale it back, though, to twice a month, every other Wednesday. But we had a show this past weekend in Long Beach. Over 600 people there, sold out, lying around the block, killing it. So
I'll be there.
I'll be
there. One of the few. Okay. Remember, I got to wake up early on Thursday.
So do I, Kimster. I take a nap, though. I take a nap.
But of course, it is your show, Way Out Loud. And Mario, why are you going to New York City?
New York City for a few days. Just I got a little work out there and working with this other company, Hone Health, too. So doing some stuff with them, and then just gonna make a quick turnaround.
You're in the perfect spot because the weather is not freezing.
Yes.
And the humidity is ending.
Yes.
So it is now the fall now, right?
Yeah. Both
Officially?
my son and I are going out to New York. Different reasons, though.
Oh.
He's going out to Buffalo to shoot The Revenge of La Llorona. The movie. Yeah.
Orale. All right, well, that's it. And next week, we might have a very, very special show. We're not making any promises yet, but we are working on it. On behalf of Hustler Casino and all our fine sponsors, this has been the 3 Knockdown Rule. Till next week, goodbye. Everybody.
Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to our show on YouTube. It's fun. It's funny. I break this guy's balls. His wig looks crazy every week, but it's still worth doing it. Check out these badass shirts we got right now. Check it out.
Even though Mario's on it, you'll still learn something, and it's still some insightful analysis. And then I bring the funny, and I don't know what he brings.
No.
What are you talking about? I'm the star of the show here.
You bring the grumpy.
Oh, but the
You
grumpy.
bring the grumpy.
Anyway,
I'll bring
like
the
and subscribe.
Yes,
3
please.
Knockdown
We
Rule.
appreciate you.